Today we're going to hang these shelving units on the wall. They may be shadow boxes, I just refer to them as small shelving units. I have 6 of these. I made these probably 6 years ago. They've been hanging at home. We've now decided to bring them to the cottage and hang them on the wall behind me. There are 6 of them of various sizes, and we'll take a look at them here in a minute, and I'll show you how we're going to get them on the wall. I kind of started without you. I've got a couple of things laid out. I'm going to explain that to you so we can fix our friendship and you don't think I'm doing stuff without you. Hi everybody, I'm Jim Dierdorf and this is Detroit DIY. Let's get these things on the wall. These are the 6 boxes that I'm going to be hanging on the wall. They're varying lengths and I have determined which ones I want where, kind of, sort of, mostly at height at this point in time. The rest of it doesn't matter until I start putting them up. And of course I have Oliver here helping me. So let's take a look at what I've already started doing so that we can get everybody up to speed. I've decided I want the tallest box 4 inches from the ceiling, so I've marked that out. And then there'll be 5 inches of stagger, I believe, between each box. So this would be the marking for the top of my smallest box, and this would be the marking for the bottom of the smallest box. So what I want to do is put 2 boards all the way across the wall at 50 inches long. That's why I laid the boxes out on the floor to get a measurement, and I'm going to mount everything to those 2 boards, and in doing so I will only wind up with a couple of holes in my paneling that, if this ever comes down, could possibly be patched up a whole lot easier and hidden than multiple holes in the paneling. So I've got my center of the wall marked out, and I'm going to go ahead and center these boards that I'm going to cut right here on this center of the wall. So then it'll be the same spacing on either side. I have my 2 boards here that I cut at 50 inches, and I'm going to mark center on them at 25, and then one of these boards will go here leveled and the other one will go just below it leveled, and all the boxes will get mounted on these. So yes, they will stand 3/4 of an inch off the wall, but they're going to overhang by 1.5 inches, so you won't really see this board back there, and of course the box is going to stand up over it. You will be able to tell that the boxes aren't tight to the wall, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and get this marked out at 25 inches center, and then when I put up the paneling, I wrote down all of my stud locations, my furring strip locations, so I'm going to go ahead and get them marked out on here as well, and then I'll drill some holes in here with a countersink bit to get these mounted to the wall. My mounting boards are 50 inches, so the center is 25. So I want to measure back 25 inches this way, put me a piece of tape, and then that is going to give me a line to measure from to go ahead and mark out where my furring strips are for mounting. There we go. Now all my measurements will be taken from this line to my furring strips. I can see a nail right here, so I know I have one right here somewhere, and then I know I should be able to get into 2, maybe 3 of them. My first mounting strip is 23 1/4 inches from this ledge. At 23 1/4 inches, that puts me right here, just outside of that seam. So that's going to put me right there. My second one is at 47 1/2. Let's get that one marked. My third one's at 71 1/2. I do not believe we're going to make that reach, but I'm going to mark it just in case. I'm going to be able to get into 2 of the furring strips, and I believe that'll be just fine. I'm going to get the boards laid out, and then I'll show you what we got. I've got my lines laid out, 9 1/4, 33 1/4, and my center mark at 25. So roughly this board is going to go right here somewhere. I'm going to get a level on it. This is really close to where it's going to go, maybe over this way a little bit. Get a level on it, and then I'm going to get a piece of tape up here so I can get my center marked out on that. And then I am going to raise this piece of tape up some so that the bottom of the tape is going to be the top of the board, and then the level will do the rest. So holding this up here pretty much where it's going to go, I'm going to run this piece of tape right across the wall here. This will just be my center mark. Just like that. Now I'm going to use my level from this line and remark my center here. So with my level, I just want to get a plumb line from there to there. I don't want to measure off of the wall. My mark is right there. So that is going to be our center mark. Now we need to just move this up to our height, and we're going to do that with the level also. Now that I've got my center mark located where I want it, I am going to relocate this to where it will not interfere with the board. And what I want it to be is 10 3/4. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this piece of tape, measure down from the top of my top box, and just put it back at 10 3/4, which is right there. I'm going to use a countersink bit, and I'm going to go ahead and drill 2 holes in each furring strip to mount these on there, so it'll be 4 screws in total. I've drilled my holes and countersunk them, and I'm going to be using 2-inch SPAX construction screws to mount these to the wall. I'm going to be using my 4-foot level on the bottom side so that I can see more of what's going on the top side. Once I get this finagled around in there, we should be good. This is my center mark right here. I want to be just below that. I should be able to adjust it level a little bit better once I get one screw in if it's not perfect. It's looking pretty good right there. Get this up here where I can see a little better. Just nudge this side down ever so little. There we go. I really like that. Two more screws. That one will be on. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing down here. It'll be a lot easier to line up because I can plumb it now with my level off the side once I get my height determined. And I'm pretty sure I've got that right here, but I'll have to rearrange a little bit of tape to get it on there. So we're good there. I no longer need this tape, and I no longer need any of this. But I have a little bit of stuff I have to figure out right here. So I'll get another piece of tape to the top of the board down here, and then we'll get this one on. So what I've done is I've put me a piece of tape here in here, and I want the bottom of my board to intersect that. This piece of tape is plumb from this side. It's covered up. What I did was I put a piece of tape here first, and then I put a piece of tape next to it and peeled that one away. So these will both be outside of the board when it's finished. I've also came over here and remarked center, and I did that just by dropping down off of this center line, plumbing everything, and drawing me a line. So we're ready to get this one on. And this time we're going to use the level on top of it. Want to make sure we remain plumb. We're within a 1/16 of an inch. Our centers are good. We are good. Now with our mounting strips located and installed, we're ready to start getting these boxes on. The length I cut these boards at is for the shelf to overhang by 1.5 inches to hide these ends. And it's also going to be 3/4 of an inch higher and lower than these boards are. So I've got the first one here. We're going to start with a small one. I've got a line drawn to give me that 1.5 inches that I need down here. Let's get this first one on. I am going to be using a 1 5/8 inch construction screw. Even though I only have 1.5 here, I couldn't really find a 1.5 inch screw. I'll plumb this after I get this top screw in. I know I'm square on my line, but I want to make sure that I'm plumb. And we are not perfectly plumb. I'm going to bump the bottom over a little. Oops, wrong way. That's looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and get this second screw in. Alright, there we have it. One mounted. Now the next one will even be easier because I'll just be clamping it to this one, No real plumbing, no anything else to do. That'll all be done now. I put a piece of tape on here and drew a line just to mark the center of this box. And I'm going to line that up with the center shelf on this cabinet. Now before I secure it to the wall, I just want to check my measurement top and bottom and make sure I'm equal. I think to get these lined up the way I want them, I'm just going to measure this one, subtract the difference, and then divide that by 2 and line it up that way. I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of tape, mark this at 4.5, and line that up with the top. And then I'll do the same thing on the others. I like what I got there. I'm going to go ahead and get 2 screws in it, and then we'll get the next one on. Now I've done the same thing with this box. Mark it 4.5 inches from the top, and we're going to line that up with the top of this one. And we're going to get some clamps on here. And there we have it. Get a couple screws in it, and then it's just going to be the repeat process. So we'll come back and take a look when we're finished. Very last one. I know I said we wouldn't be back till it was finished, but this is, I marked it out at 4.5 inches up here on the tape. We'll go ahead and get it clamped into place. Alright. I'm really liking this. I'm thinking it's looking pretty good. Alright, that is a job complete. Here's our completed project. I really like the way this turned out. I like the looks of it. Once it gets some stuff on it, it's going to be looking really good. That's all we got for this time. I hope this video was helpful in pointing out some tips to you for hanging things on the wall like this, and how to use a hanging board rather than trying to attach them directly to the wall. The French cleat method would have also worked well here, but because of limited time, this is going to work just fine. It's not like they're carrying anything heavy. So I'm happy with this type of mounting system. If you'd like to get an amazing shirt like this, I've put a link down in the description to our store. We have t-shirts, sweatshirts, all kinds of cool stuff. I'd really appreciate it if you'd check it out. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, it'd mean the world to me if you would consider doing so. And remember to always respect the power of your power tools. We'll see you soon.